Hey guys, how are you? I hope that you're having a great day, no matter what you're doing. My name is Katie. We are here for Love Bites. This is our weekly series where we like to talk about ways that you can bring a little bit more love, a little bit more self-love into your life. And this week, I want to talk about, I really just want to ask you a simple question. This is a question, this has been on my mind. I had a conversation with one of my incredible new clients a couple of weeks ago. And I asked her this question, and this is something that I ask all of my potential clients. This is something that's really important, but again, I think it's not often talked about. And that is, do you know what makes you happy? Do you know what makes you happy? And I think that sometimes this is overlooked because it's thought of as trivial, or like, of course you know what makes you happy, like there's this idea that it's almost a dumb question. But in my experience, it's actually a really profound question a lot of the time. Most of the work that I do is with women who really don't love themselves, have lost that spark with themselves, don't have that self-worth or that self-respect, have challenges with their body image. And when you have challenges with yourself in those types of ways, you tend to disconnect. Otherwise, it would be too painful to just sit with that pain all the time, right? So you tend to disconnect. And the thing is that you cannot disconnect and you cannot numb selectively. What I mean by that is, if you are choosing to disconnect from your pain, choosing to disconnect from your discomfort, you are going to start disconnecting from your joy. You cannot disconnect from one and not the other. So when I'm asking, do you know what makes you happy? You'd be surprised, 9 times out of 10, the answer is, oh, I think it's this, or it might be this, or my kids like it when I do this, or my friends have fun when we do this. But quite often, my clients don't actually know what makes them happy. So if this is you, I would love to, give me a thumbs up, give me a heart, give me something, because I really want to hear from you. This is a challenge for a lot of people. So coming out of this challenge, coming out the other side, there's a few things that we need to do. Number 1, you have to decide it matters. You have to decide that your happiness is your priority. You have to decide that your happiness matters just as much, if not more, than your partner's happiness, than your children's happiness, than your coworkers' happiness. Your happiness matters. Your happiness, the amount of joy that you experience in your life, that is not an insignificant detail. It's not something to be ignored. All right? So you've got to just decide that it matters and that it deserves some attention. And then next is the fun part. You get to start exploring again. And this can look like a lot of different things and happen in a lot of different ways, okay? So this can literally be, I know quite often with my clients, what we do is you make a list. And it sounds kind of dumb. You're like, that doesn't sound fun at all. But we actually make a list of what lights you up? What feels really good? What do you like doing? Or what did you used to like doing? Maybe you used to be a trail runner and you used to surf every weekend and you used to go mountain biking, or you used to be a ballerina. I don't know. Do you still actually like those things? Maybe you like the idea of them, but do you still actually like them? So we actually need to start exploring, what do you like? What lights you up? And just in little bits and pieces, right? We're starting to explore. We're starting to sort of test the waters, get your toes wet. And then once we have started that process, then we get to start implementing. You might discover that in fact you hate that thing that you thought you liked, but in actuality you love sitting down with a good book in a coffee shop by yourself for an hour and just reading. Maybe you love that. Maybe that just fills you up and sets your soul on fire and makes you feel like $1,000,000. That's incredible. Then we're going to do that. Then we're going to start prioritizing that. We're going to implement that as your regular, not daily. That's not always, realistic, not to do every single thing every day, but a regular thing. And maybe we do that once a week. And maybe, you go for a walk a couple times a week. Maybe it's playing with your dog in the park, it's lots of different things. And the idea is that we're going to identify various things that light you up, and we're going to mix and match. So we're complex creatures. And there's always going to be multiple things. You're never just going to have one thing that makes you happy and nothing else. You know, we all have multiple things. So the beauty of this is once you start that exploration process and you start identifying the things that light you up, then you get to, this is where we almost have like the list, right? We have the list of like, I think this might be it. And then you get to say, no, actually, this is it. I love reading a good book. I love having a cup of coffee. I love going for walks in nature. I love playing with my dog. And once we have a few of these ideas, then when we're implementing, that's where you mix and match. Because you don't always have time to sit down for an hour every day. I get that. That, you know, life can be busy. Like, that's just reality. But maybe you have 5 minutes. Maybe it's 5 minutes before you go to bed and you do 5 minutes of meditation, and that really just soothes you. You know, maybe it's watching a certain TV show or listening to a certain kind of music or putting on some really fun music when you're cooking dinner. So we're going to start implementing. And I do want to invite you as well, as I'm speaking about this, if you're just like, girl, I have no idea what makes me happy. I have no idea what lights me up. I'm super lost. I don't even know where to start. I want to invite you to jump on a call with me. Okay, so these calls are free. Clarity calls, I only have a few of them every week. But the whole idea is that we get to jump on the phone one-on-one and have a conversation about where you're stuck. Chances are, if you're stuck with not knowing what makes you happy, you're stuck in other places. It's kind of the reality. These things usually sort of come in bunches. So we can talk about this. We can talk about where else you're stuck. We can talk about the challenges you're having. And then together we can sort of create a game plan to come out the other side and see what that would look like and actually start getting you on your way to tapping into yourself, finding what feels best for you on the inside, and really looking at all those other different aspects of you that might currently be out of balance. We're going to talk about how to start bringing all of those back in. Okay, so if that sounds like something you're interested in, I'm going to drop the link in the comments below. It's a free clarity call, only a few every week. Book your call now. I would love to chat with you. Finding what makes you happy is not a trivial thing. It is not to be ignored. This is something that will affect your health, your physical health, your mental health, your emotional health, your overall well-being every day of your life, forever. So if you're feeling stuck, if you don't know where to go, if you have no idea where to start, please reach out. I would love to talk with you. All right, book your call. Cannot wait to hear from you. If you have any questions or comments, as usual, please drop them in the comments. Looking forward to hearing from you. Talk to you soon.